Are we live? I don't know. I don't see nothing. Oh, we're live.
We're live. We are
We're
live.
live?
We are live.
We're
I'm
live.
just giving it a minute.
Scooby-Doo.
Jesus Christ. Are you done yet so I can do this?
No, you could start though.
So I can screw it up. Well, welcome to BatYard's Finest, bringing you the finest of Batman and Superman pop culture. And from Gotham City, I am Matt.
Wow, that was fucking the best. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And to my, we always screw this up. So
It's so weird.
Right, my horse picking the right. So
I'm Jerry, flying in from Ola, and to my right,
I'm Josh, all the way from Metropolis. How you guys doing? I'm like half awake right now, so bear with me. I'm drinking coffee. I'll wake up. I'm alive.
I'm sorry.
we had a hard day adulting.
Yeah, it's been a hard day's night, as
I'm not gonna lie,
Ringo
Jerry.
Starr would say.
You're on my right, and you say on my right. You just point to off screen.
I keep forgetting which way to point.
I know it
Because this
screws me
thing's
up too. It's so
backwards.
mirrored.
It's so dumb.
Oh man! So what are we doing? What are we talking about?
So, well, if you guys didn't notice last week, we had a little issue. So we're going to go back with talking about the 1966 Batman, the movie. We're going to talk about the Dynamic
Suicide Squad.
Well, the Suicide Squad that literally dropped, I believe, this year.
Yeah,
last
I think
Friday.
it was August 9th. Yeah, Friday, right? And then no, not from 9th. No, it'd be a 6th. 9th was a 6th.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a 6.
My bad. Because I thought it was supposed to come out the 9th. I thought I flipped it upside down.
Yeah, 69.
But then we're supposed to talk about actually was it Scooby-Doo short, kind of like a short movie.
Basically, Scooby-Doo meets Batman.
Dynamic, Scooby-Doo and Batman from 1972. It looks like it's the second episode that they cross over. Well, I discovered that last time. But we're going to talk about this, and Jerry and Josh will probably talk about the first episode because why not?
Yeah. So, Matt, do you have any BSBS before we?
BSBS. Other than we got this. Okay, so everybody heard about the Left 4 Dead games.
Oh, they're making another one?
No, they're making this other one called Back for Blood, and supposedly it's made by Warner Brothers this time around, and supposedly they're having some difficulties with some of the zombie speech.
Some of the zombies were raised in the deep south.
The deep south. So
what's the difference?
Okay. How do we be nice about this one? No, supposedly
the zombies are racist.
They are super racist. Supposedly if you interact with a zombie or shoot, like any interaction with a zombie, supposedly they drop a hard N-word every time they meet you. So
and it's been happening to people of my color.
Facts.
So
yeah,
Warner Brothers, get ready.
You can't do nothing right. You can't even run DC or video games.
Why? Why are they doing that? This is Warner Brothers?
Yeah, it's Warner Brothers made, but supposedly the gaming company that they're using, I believe it's just Warner Brothers Games, I believe it's called, but supposedly that they're saying it's an accidental glitch that's happening with two audio files, and it will somewhat overlap on the top of each other and say the word instead of just saying the grunting noises, and two separate times. but nobody in the testing group prior of alpha or the beta that's coming, that just literally just dropped of the demo, noticed anything of it.
Is this part of the game? Now, is this like part of the storyline? Like what
no,
is it?
No, like this is a whole like failure to take precautions on their end.
So, like is it like the character you play as? Like if you're playing as
it's a zombie
specific character?
It's literally you run
how is it racist? I don't understand. I still don't understand how it's racist.
Everyone's just claiming it as racist because if it's just like straight up just N-word drop hard R.
Who said the
zombies?
The people.
Like when
Why
you
would they say that?
The zombies say it.
Why?
Like they're claiming it's a glitch between two audio files, between like two grunting noises.
Yes.
But in all of my decades of playing video games, that's so hard to do.
The thing
because that's like, a very specific word.
It is.
I thought. So, have you guys played it? Like, have you witnessed it?
No, we're gonna play the demo tonight. So let's see what happens.
Oh, let's have a demo party tonight on PlayStation.
We're going to fight racist zombies.
Basically, yes. But like,
I don't even know what to say to that.
We don't either because our friend Jimmy dropped the video to us a couple days ago in the group chat that we have on Facebook and everything. And I was watching it. I couldn't hear it good enough because like it just sounded to me like a grunt because a guy was just talking over top of the grunt at one point.
Yeah.
And then last night, Jerry's girlfriend Trini, she played me a video on PlayStation, and you could just hear it.
Like it's very clear.
That's terrible. Yeah. That's awful. That is.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
How do you mistake that? How do you fucked up Mortal Kombat and you're fucking up my favorite zombie game. You should be ashamed.
How do you screw that up? I don't know how you screw that up though. Like
it's called lack of anything. Just what is it? Wow. Just a
awareness,
basically lack of awareness, and like probably somebody just said, "Oh, they probably won't notice," and then multiple people doing earlier beta accessing and other stuff noticed it. So yeah, because the actual demo activates today, so it probably activated 12 o'clock last night for my Jordan.
I still have to download it.
Dude, it took me 45 minutes. Do it now.
I don't even think I have space on mine, to be honest, to download anything. I had to delete so many games on mine. Yeah. I got to get a hard drive.
I thought you did.
5 terabytes. It's the way to go.
I got a 4. It is a way to go. Best thing ever.
Do you have to get a specific... We have PlayStation, so do you have to get a specific hard drive?
Seagate. I can go back through my old Amazon purchases and forward you the one that I bought when it was on sale.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Yeah. I'll do that because I got so many games I want to play. I know you guys been playing, and I haven't been playing anything really. I just been playing some Red Dead because it's the only game I have on my hard drive that could fit. So
we may do the switch to Red Dead soon, maybe.
Possibly.
We don't know yet. Possibility.
Yeah, I'll be down for that.
It's on sale for actually like $40, I think, right now. The Ultimate Collector's Edition.
Yeah, something like that for the summer sale.
Yeah, summer sale.
Do you have any BS, Josh?
I have a lighter note. This has to do with Superman. I don't care about the game though. The Fortnite released a playable character you could play as Superman.
They're gonna ruin him.
I don't know. I don't know anything about Fortnite. It just seemed like a couple videos here and there. I feel like, I don't know.
100% trash.
I was trying to look up videos of it, and you start out as Clark Kent, and you got to get it into a phone booth to become Superman, which is I like that niche. Yeah, I like that niche idea. Like you have to go in a phone booth. but every video I looked up, I guess it just came out like a day or two ago. Every video I looked up, they can't find the phone booths. Like the phone booths are not in the game, so I don't know if it's a glitch or what.
That's Fortnite for you.
That's Fortnite for you.
Yeah, and the audio that they use, I think it's like it's from a different game. It's from another Superman game, but it's like from an older one, from like PlayStation 2 or something. Because I was listening to it.
Sure, it's not the Nintendo 64 one. And
it sounded like that. It sounded like that, but I don't. It might be a different game, but it's definitely from something like old school. And I'm like, why the fuck are they using that voice from so long ago, like generations ago? So I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird.
They could probably afford.
No,
make it easy and cheap.
Fortnite. They have millions of dollars.
But,
no way that's like they can't afford it. Yeah, that's something
Fortnite
else.
is the like killer of pop culture.
It's horrible.
Fortnite. You know what? That the new Space Jam kind of remind me of like Fortnite culture because it had all these characters and it was just like CGI like barf on the screen. I didn't think it was a terrible movie. It was bad though. It wasn't good. Jerry, did you get it? Did you get a chance to watch it?
I really refused to watch the movie. I tried watching like 10 minutes, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, this movie is a fucking dumpster fire. And I'm really upset that they're trying to make this the new thing. Because it's nothing against LeBron James or Michael Jordan. It's just the Space Jam movie as a movie. There's no reason that you should have done this. That's like going back and try to redo Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's just
It basically is.
Feels like that feels like
I mean, it's like supposed to be a continuation, but it's not at the same time because they're in the Warner Brothers computer. I know. We already talked about it, but it was just like
we'll jump back into it before we do. This is bullshit anyway. So the movie's bullshit. So it's trying to be a continuation, but at the same time, two different it's two different time links to it, like just separated. It's like a 2-year gap. And like LeBron James is like a little kid in this, was it 1998? What's it called?
Yeah, because that's
when
when
it kicks
the
off.
first one came out.
Yeah, he's playing like
1996 actually.
He's playing a Looney Tunes Game Boy game, and I actually remember
that's
seeing
the connection
that game where it's like Bugs Bunny's Birthday Bashers. It's something like that, some like retro game from like the 90s.
I feel like we had that at one point.
I didn't.
I
just know it from the AVGN video. I don't know if you guys ever watched that, but yeah, but all right. Well, I was just curious. I don't really want to get into Space Jam 2. We already talked about it in the previous episode. If you want to check it out, I was just curious about Jerry's thoughts if he's seen it. And it's funny, like out of everyone, I thought I would hate it the most, and I feel like I like it the most out of us three, which is it. It's just not what I was
complete flip.
Yeah,
exactly.
You like the dumpster fire.
I don't know. I liked how it was like it kind of brought back 2D animation in a way, but it's not a good movie.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. But Matt, I gotta ask you.
We already talked about this.
We already talked about it. Watch the video. Watch it.
Go back 2 episodes.
I have another news. Not news, but our news. Us podcast news for our channel. YouTube took down one of our videos because there's a claim for sexual content in the Assy McGee video. I think it's up now again, but what? Yeah, I was like, what the hell? And so I had to change the thumbnail. I don't know if you'll see
what?
It I had to change the thumbnail.
I have to watch this.
What video was it?
It was
the Assy
McGee.
Yeah,
Assy McGee and Cool World.
Cool World. So it was taken down for sexual content. I think it was just the image of the butt on the thumbnail, and I think that was.
That's what he is.
I know it's stupid. So I think it's up. I think it's back up again. It's just the thumbnail's not there. I have to change the thumbnail, so you'll see it later of what it's gonna be. But I think it kind of makes it funnier what the new thumbnail is. But I don't know. I'll let you judge that.
I swear to God, YouTube your ass backwards because
they're the assy McGee's.
They let so many YouTubers use like risky photos to draw people in as thumbnails. So like just having a cartoon ass is a problem.
That's his character image, YouTube. Stop trying to censor me.
There's clips of the show on YouTube. Like you can watch clips of the show. So like
they blur out the crack. It's just a blob.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
You should have edited underwear over assy. I like that. Yeah, that's
no. We're gonna be suffocating him. No.
I don't know. I made something. I didn't put it up yet. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. I just made the thumbnail.
Oh my God.
So I just wanted to put that out there. Matt, I wanted to ask you. So you got a pet fish recently, and I just wanted to ask you, how's it doing?
The pet fish is doing well. He's swimming around as at the moment. He's going around doing his thing. Yeah,
Matt received a fish for his birthday, a beta fish named Godzilla. So I was just I just wanted to ask him about that.
He's like this dope. What was weird? I didn't know beta fish can change colors.
Yeah,
when Josh got it, it was like a pale black, bluish color. And now it's like a vibrant dark blue with black scales.
Yeah,
and it looks awesome.
It's pretty cool. Like that happened with another beta fish I had. It like metamorphosized. It like turned into like a completely different color. So like I don't know. It's kind of crazy how they change. So if you guys ever get a beta fish, they do change color.
That's cool. I kind of want a beta fish now.
Beta up.
Yeah, you could do a community take with it. You know, you could put other stuff with it as long as it's big enough. You know, so I was so used to beta fish being like solitary creatures. But once I heard like you could put other fish with it, I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I got one whose name is Jaws. Well, Jaws 2 technically, and he kind of hates everything, but he's chill. Exactly.
I'm thinking of maybe getting those. What was it? The white cloud, the cloudfish you were talking about?
Yeah, the white cloud minnows. Yeah,
white cloud. Yeah, I was thinking about getting them maybe this week or maybe next week about it.
Yeah, I would get
I still want to get the ghost shrimp. I still want to get those damn ghost shrimps.
I can probably give you,
but they're risky business, like business. That the ghost shrimps, it's like a risk if you buy them. It's like there's like a 75% chance that they die.
I would get more than
entering the tank. What?
So where's the alpha fish? I guess the beta fish is the alpha fish.
Technically,
my tank's literally right here. So I'll just like, if you can even see it, that's my fish
getting there.
So
nice.
Oh, there he is. Oh shit, you can actually see him. He's that big black thing.
There he is.
I can't point at him. How do I do this?
Move to the right.
So yeah. That's what happened during the pandemic. I was like, I need friends, so I got fish instead. So that's what happened to me.
Oh,
so.
Josh went nuts.
Yeah. I went a little
Josh
crazy.
Went crazy.
Yeah, so I was like, Matt.
Well, he has all dope things.
Yeah,
he has a little froggy. You have another one, right? You guys have two of them now.
Two. Yeah, I got two. But yeah, this is not what the podcast is about. We're about.
Well, this is the BS. Okay, so
we're just shooting the shit right now.
I just wanted
like racist to adoring fish.
The little bit of BS that I have is gonna be really interesting if you care about it.
No, I'm done. That's all I had to say, to be honest.
So I recently saw like through God, I forgot I even had these news alerts pinged on my Google, but apparently if you're unfamiliar, Johnny Depp is suing his ex-wife Amber Heard for $50 million in a defamation lawsuit. And recently he won like a court case that might help his case go through, because the judge ruled that she has to prove that the $7 million that she got from their divorce was rightfully donated to charity. And if it wasn't, she's got to pay him that $50 million, for defamation of character and, I guess everything else that the lawsuit entitles to. I've completely forgotten all about it at this point.
What about the $7 billion though that she supposedly got and supposedly gave to charity?
Not
we don't know of yet.
Sure.
That might
come up into
the.
What was that, Josh?
What the money you're talking about, is that from Johnny Depp's or
the $7 billion?
That's from the divorce.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And she said she was going to donate it to charity, and so now Johnny's like, well, if you've really donated that to charity and you're making me out to be this crazy abusive person, prove it. And so she has to prove it. And if she does, it comes out she didn't. She's gonna have to pay out some money.
Yeah, it's super screwed up how Johnny Depp basically got canceled for no reason, and Amber Heard still starring in movies. Like she's gonna
lie.
She's a compulsive liar. I've been looking into it previously, but so she's going to be in the sequel to Aquaman. I know people were like,
she still? I thought she got
Yeah,
canceled.
no, she's still in it. God. I think they started filming.
Warner Brothers, really?
And I know people were like hoping that Emilia Clarke would just kind of replace her role, which. I'd rather have that than Amber Heard be in it.
Yeah.
Emilia Clarke wouldn't be my first choice, but she's fine.
I think she's better looking than Amber Heard.
I don't remember who that is, so sorry.
She's the fucking dragon chick from Game of Thrones.
Oh, I never remember her name. Really.
Khaleesi.
Yeah, I know the character, but I never remember her real name because I don't see her anything else in Game of Thrones.
She's got the perky tits and the soft ass.
Now we're gonna get kicked off, Jared.
Yeah. Now we're gonna get canceled. This is sexual content right here. Now YouTube is gonna.
It's an episode. You can watch it on HBO. But it, all things considered, because Warner Brothers let Johnny Depp go from the Fantastic Beast and Where to Find Them series. And so I feel personally, because I'm a huge Johnny Depp fan. He's one of my favorite actors. I feel, Warner Brothers make what's right. If you let Johnny Depp go, let Amber Heard go, because I know he came out with a lot of evidence saying that I wasn't abusive. She was the one like screaming, hitting, just degrading me as a man and all this other stuff.
Yeah, it's screwed up like with his finger. She like severed his finger basically by throwing a vodka bottle, like smashed it on his hand. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Oh no! Don't jinx us, T-Pillow. We don't want to get
T-Pillow. Don't you get cancel culture up in here?
None of that.
I'm not.
Ass is a biblical term for donkey, and tits are a pair of birds.
That is true. There is the blue tit. That's a real bird. That actually is. I have a stuffed animal of it actually.
He's a stuffed animal with tit.
No, yeah, I guess, yeah. It's a bird. If I had it, I would show you, but it's not here.
You can't show tit on here. You can't do that.
It's in the bed. It's in the bedroom. I don't know.
That's where
much better that sounds.
But
yeah.
but just back to the main point, everybody's really hoping that things take a better turn for Johnny, so he can get his roles back in Pirates of the Caribbean, the spinoff of Harry Potter, and I think he was supposed to be in a few other projects that he got pulled from.
Supposedly Tim Burton was supposed to get him into the reboot of the Addams Family, but when I looked it up, when I looked it up, he supposedly casted another actor for Gomez instead. But there's supposedly there is what's it called? No window probably for freaking for Johnny Depp, because Tim Burton has a soft for freaking Johnny Depp, because 50% of his movie he's in it. So anyway, Johnny Depp will probably be in it.
Yeah,
they know how to work together.
I'm done with. I'm not done, but I have little faith in Tim Burton's movies anymore, especially after the Alice in Wonderland dumpster fire and the new Dumbo crap, whenever that came out.
Okay, that's why I fell off with the Dumbo one. The Dumbo.
He did do Dumbo.
Yeah, he did do Dumbo.
He fell off.
I never watched Dumbo.
I didn't either. It looked terrible. It looked really bad.
It was. It was.
You watched it?
I'd say I watched Dumbo. I did watch the Dumbo movie. I was curious. It was just a lot of stuff that I don't remember from the actual original animation movie happens in this movie. So they had to give the movie actually the character a humans a role thing in the movie, instead of just letting the animals go and do their thing and all this other crap. So it kind of takes away from it, but at the same time I understand the reason why you're doing it, but at the same time it's I don't care for all these live action movies where you already put the movie out years ago. You don't need to do it just to please the newer generation with this movie story. I
have a quick question, and then we can wrap up BSBS.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk
Crispy,
about.
Go ahead.
Would you choose Dumbo or Cats to rewatch?
Wait, what?
You seen Cats?
Cats? I never seen Cats.
Oh. Pick a movie, Dumbo or Cats.
I don't want. Wait, which version of Cats? Because there's 3 versions of Cats. One. Is that the one when they finally fixed the hands and no more butthole?
Yeah, the butthole cut.
No, I don't want.
Would you rather watch the butthole cut or the?
I'll watch Dumbo. I'll watch Dumbo. I don't need.
Well, what about the butthole cut? That hasn't been seen by human eyes.
I'm watching Dumbo.
They have a Dumbo butthole cut too. They have a butthole on Dumbo.
But that's the last tidbit I had. We can proceed on.
All right, so let's talk about Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad. Because for some reason, the first one doesn't matter no more.
Not really. I guess it's loosely connected, but yeah.
It is loosely connected. It's all right, so we're doing major spoilers because it literally just came out a week ago, or
I would say let's start out with non-spoilers, and then if we want to get into spoilers later, we can.
A spoiler warning has been issued, so pay the fucking attention.
Spoilers.
Okay, I guess we're doing spoilers. Before we do spoilers, let's just talk about the review first, and then our thoughts, and then go into spoilers. So, so people get a chance.
Take it away, Matt.
Yeah, just go.
So, all right, I'll do this recap of this one. So, basically, the Suicide Squad is directed by James Gunn, former but reissued again to the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise director. This movie literally just came out this year, August 6th, we just stated in the beginning. So it takes place after the Suicide Squad, the original Suicide Squad movie. I would say after Birds of Prey. So like there actually is a team. There's 2 teams set up. They go and they actually at this certain island. I believe it's off the coast of Mexico or Cuba. Between there, and they're supposed to do a mission. How they get this? This science project is being held up inside of a secret base on the island, but one team was a decoy, one team wasn't. We had little fatalities of sadness, but some were just like, eh. But then we later on progressed down the road and we end up learning about the newer characters slightly down the road that's in the newer team. And that's not bad. They introduce them well. They do pretty good discussing the character-wise to me, but it keeps producing onwards. And like, was it the main team, the captain, the sergeant guy? I can never remember his name. He is
Rick
being
Flag.
like, thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty easy to remember.
I don't. I care about the actual characters other than the additional.
He was an actual character. He served.
Oh, I mean, like villain-wise, the villain people.
Okay,
So basically, in this one, we mostly hang out with Polka Dot Man, Killer Shark, Captain. Was it Freedom Pride? Oh, I can't remember his
Peacemaker.
name. John Cena.
Yeah,
Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Toilet Head. We have freaking Harley Quinn's back in it again. Captain Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
The pro wrestler.
Yeah.
Straight.
And Lex
The Ninja
Luger.
Boy himself. And I feel like we're missing one more person.
Rat
The
Snatcher.
Weasel. Yeah,
Yeah,
Rat
the Rat
Snatcher. He's
Catcher.
actually probably one of my favorite characters in the group. And we
Got
have Bloodsport. That's in the group too. He's actually his first time leading a group, and he's doing okay. So basically, they take that group that I just mentioned, minus Ric Flair, and they had to go they're on a trail to actually find the captain because supposedly he was held captive, but it's not a held captive situation. That was an instant that shouldn't have been more easy go, but no one relayed the message. So they keep going. They get the captain back. Now they're on the quest for Harley Quinn. They get Harley Quinn back from I think he's the president of the island, and Harley Quinn ends up doing her own thing. So she ends up catching him in the act of saving her, and they keep going onward and make it to Jotunheim is the actual laboratory that they're supposed to go to actually stop whatever is happening. So they end up finding the way through it. They end up finding they had to actually meet up with the Thinker. That's the main guy behind everything that's happening on the island with Jotunheim. And I think he looks pretty cool than the Flash TV show, not going to lie. And we keep going to the whole thing. We end up meeting the actual main villain. But I forget his name. What?
That's kind of a spoiler.
Giant starfish. I know.
You're like, you're like, not
Butthole.
spoilers. Let me explain the whole plot.
How do I not mention the starfish? He's part of the freaking story.
All right, fuck it.
So yeah, they had to do this thing.
Spoilers.
And they end up doing the whole thing, and some shit goes down with Bloodsport and Peacemaker. Let's just say that too in the midst. So how you guys feel on this? I tried my best not to
They
ruin
saved the world from a butthole because
He's a
starfish
superhero.
is slang for butthole.
Yeah.
Thanks, Peacemaker. Thank you, Peacemaker.
I'm a superhero.
Oh, Polka Dot Man.
You want to take this, Josh, or you want me to go first?
You go first.
Go for it. I want to hear it because Josh added this. I want to see this.
I would be lying if I said I didn't enjoy the movie. Compared to the first one, I feel that the acting cast was a lot better on certain cues and interactions and things. I also really liked how, what was it? I like how it was kind of a change of pace almost from the first one because I hated the first one with a burning passion because it felt like I was watching a rated R Guardians of the Galaxy, which I guess James Gunn has always wanted to do, as you could kind of tell from how the characters talked, all of the dialogue, to even how the villains were. And in case you didn't know, this is going to be a slight spoiler.
Yeah, it's going to be like hard to talk about this movie.
It's just a very slight spoiler. And it's dedicated to the man.
Spoilers. Matt already like.
It's dedicated to this man right here.
It's in the trailer too.
He is a general. He is General Mateo.
Oh yeah, Mateo. Yeah, I kept laughing.
He's a general. We have a U.S. military general to my left.
But he was the bad guy. He wasn't.
He was the bad guy. But there were some things.
We're just gonna leave that alone. That's a different time.
I felt the movie was a bit too long for what it was, and it kind of dragged on. Certain little funny cues in the beginning that were like, okay, this is fun. To are we still recycling this same thing over again? And for as much as I liked all of Harley Quinn's scenes, I really felt that she was unnecessary.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against Margaret Robbie. I love Margaret Robbie as Harley Quinn. Everybody has their own dislikes of her, but whatever. But even still, she I think she does very good for what she does. And I think James Gunn kind of did this as a slap in the face to Marvel for letting him go over, like, what was it, an old tweet or something that he did when Disney still has, very stereotypical and racially insensitive caricatures from some of their old cartoons still floating around. So, Disney, pick your poison. But overall, if I could change one thing about the movie, I would keep the cast. I would reduce the time to maybe an hour and 45 minutes, but give me the plot from the first one with the Enchantress, because I love that. That was cool to me, fighting a god and whatnot, if I'm not mistaken. And King Shark was an absolute joy to have.
Hand?
Yeah.
Hand?
And him reading a book upside down. Yeah, he was great. You go ahead, Matt.
No, I'm gonna say this. I'm kind of like partial with Jerry with this. I like the dynamic of where it went. I like the whole James Gunn refreshing us with like the DC universe, with like just brightening it up a little bit with the comedy and like the stuff that's happening. Yeah, he touched upon some here and there dark stuff in the show, in the movie and everything. But at the same time, like, it was still like uppity, like it was more like campy for me. Like, it felt campy. It was a different pace instead of like everyone's supposed to be like, this, everything's tone of depression, everything's all this, all that. I don't need 100% of anything. Even like stuff that was like supposed to be enlightening felt depressing. And some of the new movies are coming out. I miss Killer Croc. I don't know if I miss Killer Croc. I'm not sorry.
Killer Croc can die off. Fuck Killer Croc.
That version was crap. I like Killer Croc in general, but that one was.
Yeah, I liked where they went with Killer Croc. Yes, I liked how they went with like a nice, they give it makeup, but at the same time, Killer Croc is like 10 foot tall, massive. And some renditions of him, they kind of
King Shark was like what I wanted Killer Croc to be. King Shark basically kind of took over that role. And Idris Elba took over Deadshot, like Will Smith's role. They're basically the same character, even with the daughter subplot. Yeah. It's like the same thing.
Also, an interesting tidbit about the daughter, she is from A Wrinkle in Time, which is a very good book. Don't watch the movie. Read the book.
Okay.
I heard the movie was a wrinkle of shit.
Oh God. No,
I heard
but,
the movie was really bad.
No, but yeah, I enjoyed watching the movie. There was a lot of here and there, like funny moments and everything. Jerry was stating, like everything's good. The Harley Quinn thing, they're just riding with her basically because like everybody's been adoring her for the last for the last decade with the newer comic books that are just coming out. So like, why not flow with it, including it's like she's been in every single additional lead up movie up to here, so why not keep her? I kind of like, I don't know if I would say go like take this movie style and like put it on top of the first one. I don't know how that would flow right with me because it feels like it wouldn't flow right with me at all with that whole storyline. It just feels like it would just get butting heads to go somewhere else, but just flat out somewhere else. Like it wouldn't feel the same how it'd go. But like I had like so much more stuff before this, but like now I'm just going to blank. But like I like the whole like character like here and there. I had a disappointing moment in the beginning with the first set of group of people. Because
that was great. I love that part. I love that part.
The thing is, like, I enjoyed everything that was part of the whole setup, but there's one character that I kind of wanted to keep going, other than just saying, "Well, fuck them all," except for freaking the captain. Are you talking about
Weasel?
No, Weasel. I can't even say that. It's a spoiler at the damn end.
I know. But that's what I thought you were talking about.
No, Weasel with the drowning part. No, I wasn't disappointed with that.
I felt like that. What you're talking about with that part, I was like, what the fuck?
No, it's when they're all on the island. They're all on the island. They're on the shoreline, and that stupid idiot comes out and he's just like, "Yeah, it's me. I set everything up. It's me." It's he got
what he deserved.
He got what he deserved, definitely. But at the same time,
yeah.
What? Yeah.
Pete Davidson's
the funny thing is, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who his actor was, and Nick showed up at the 3/4 marker of the movie and said, "Yo, where is this guy?" And I just looked at him and said, "Who?" He's like, "This guy." I'm like, "Who?" And like Nick's like, "Yeah, all right, look it up. Look up the cast." I look up the cast, and I scroll and I find him. I'm like, "Oh, that guy! Oh, they killed the douchebag in like the first 5 minutes," and he's like, "What?" I'm like, yeah, they murdered a lot of characters.
I like that. I like that subversion, though. I did like that subversion in the beginning. I guess we're in spoilers, but I like that subversion. Like you're following this one team, like Team A, and you think that's going to be your main cast of characters, and then they just like literally axe them all off. So like there's stakes in the movie. Like any of these characters can die, and it's like stated from the beginning. And I really enjoyed that. I liked how there's like subverted everything. Captain Boomerang. We're spoilers. Captain Boomerang dies within the first 5 minutes with Pete Davidson.
I was so pissed about that.
I was a little disappointed.
I was a little disappointed about it too. I wish he lasted at least halfway through the movie, but once he died, I was like, all right, James Gunn wants to do his own characters. So I was kind of fine with it. I got it, and they're called the Suicide Squad. So showing that even Captain Boomerang can die, kind of made the stakes higher for me because it showed that any of the characters could die. He was the main one of the main characters of the last film. So that's what I enjoyed about that part. And then it subverts it, and then you're like, oh well, Team B is actually the team we're supposed to be following, and then it's just
the focus point
reversal. I didn't mean to cut you off, man. I didn't know if you.
No, it's fine. But I'm gonna say this: there's one animal that actually brought me I enjoyed the most, the little rat.
Yes,
the waving rat. Yeah.
Sebastian.
The little rat, Sebastian. He's just waving. He has his little cute little backpack on him and everything.
He's got his walking vest on.
Yeah, he was dedicated. He was the most dedicated character of just keeping going. He was like, "Hi. All right, here's your leaf." He was trying to make his peace with Bloodsport the whole movie, And then at the end of the movie, he followed out by finishing, like, helping out and, like, defeating the enemy. So, like, I would say this is the rat. Like, if it was a real, like, real thing that happened, then he treated like training a rat to do all this. That rat deserves a reward. Or if we can just give a fake award to a fake rat, let's do it because that rat is the best. Come on, Sebastian, man. And he gets her, and he wins over a little bit with Bloodsport at the end.
No, I agree. It was pretty endearing, and the rats were a big main plot device at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah,
pretty neat to see.
Big.
I don't know. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. I liked it a lot. It felt like I was reading a comic book, like, on screen. It didn't feel like a movie. It was more like a graphic novel come to life because, like, especially with the graphics and the way they told the story, like, they showed the time of day and they did it in, like, 3 minutes earlier.
Like
today, they use the environment around them to kind of, like, spell out the words, like, this is what's happening at this point in time. And I thought that was very, like, a comic book. And it felt like a big build up to, the big kaiju at the end. And I felt like it was very gratifying. I have to disagree with Jerry on the first movie. The witch, I guess the witch was kind of cool. The witch herself, I don't even fucking remember her name. I want to say Scarlet Witch.
Called the Enchantress.
Enchantress. Yeah. So
that's Sorceress.
Scarlet Enchantress. She was. I thought that villain was kind of stupid because the whole plot of the first Suicide Squad started because Amanda Waller is trying to initiate this team of bad guys, villains, to combat something that the U.S. military can control. So they can control these bad guys and what?
The unidentified enemy. That's what they were in the beginning. No one knew what the fuck they were.
Anyway, so they're have this team of, like, misfits that they basically can control, and then she's trying to gather all these people, and she gets the Enchantress. So the whole reason that the plot is, that they have a villain in the first movie is because of Amanda Waller. It just shows, like, she's stupid and incompetent in, like, picking this person to be on our team. And I guess, like, that can happen with these characters. They're a bunch of criminals and stuff, but it was just not set up properly. Like, it would have been neat if, like, she was at least on the team and then she, like, kind of backstabbed them in the middle of the movie. But it happened so early that you're like, okay, this is all your fault, you stupid lady. And then she does her belly dance at the end, and then, like, it just becomes this whole dumpster fire of, like, CGI with the Enchantress brother. I don't even know what he's called. We'll call him freaking Quicksilver.
He wasn't even quick. He wasn't even silver.
I don't know. I don't know his name. Fucking tribal guy. And Tribal Man, he looked like just a CGI mess, and, like, he was on fire, and then, like, fucking Diablo kills him because he becomes this whole superpowered mess. And then you're, like, thinking to yourself, why would Amanda Waller get Harley Quinn with a baseball bat, Deadshot with guns to fight off these, like, these superpowered beings? Like, they have no chance. Like, what the fuck are they going to do? This guy with a boomerang is going to fight off this fire tribal guy and this witch belly dancer. Yeah, but no, in this movie, it makes more sense because they're trying. This is a mission that they seem like they can actually handle themselves. It's not like,
oh, true.
Like, it's not like she knew that they were going to fight Starro at the end of the film. Like, they thought, their mission was over once they got the hard drive that, revealed all the military secrets in the United States of Secrets, basically revealing that the U.S. is the reason that this whole mess has started in the first place.
Yeah.
So, like, their mission is accomplished at the end of the movie, and then it's because their characters developed and like changed over time that they actually saved the day, and it's actually earned. That whole plot and setup is earned, and I don't know. I enjoyed it a lot more. I just thought it felt like a comic book, and it's like this is a movie for superheroes that like. I feel it definitely had that Guardians feel. Obviously, it's James Gunn, but like it feels like James Gunn had a lot more freedom than any of those Guardians movies. I kind of like the Guardians movies a little bit better than this, but that being said, it seemed like he had a lot more freedom. Like there's a lot of gore, there's a lot of guts, there's a lot of blood. Anyone could be axed off. It's not like they're like he's like
there's a floppy.
Yeah, there's that too, and. It doesn't seem like he's contained in a box in this film. Like he's able to branch out and kind of do whatever he wants, and like the visuals and everything. I thought it was like really neat, like what he could get away with a superhero film, and it just seemed like something we haven't really seen before. Like the Marvel formula, I'm so sick of the Marvel formula. It just seems like the same movie every time we get a new superhero. It's just like the same thing. The only things that like are a little like different, I would say, is like Winter Soldier and then Endgame. Endgame should have been the last movie. But like each origin film of Marvel is like the same movie. It's like the same cookie cutter formula. And this felt like a lot more stylized. Like James Gunn had a lot more style and camera work that he could utilize because it seemed like he had a lot more freedom than even the Guardians movies. Like the Guardians movies, they look like a Marvel film, which is not bad, but it just seemed like this movie had a lot more freedom to play around with. And that's what I enjoyed about this movie. It was like a step in a different direction from all this shit that I'm so used to.
Stupid guidelines.
Yeah, so like
have a radar
things
fucking
that
movie.
are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of opens the doors to Warner Brothers to do something different. Like they have to take risks now because everything else didn't really work out.
Universe.
I would rather have James Gunn take control of the DC universe. I would thoroughly more enjoy that.
I don't want none of the movies that are in the production right now to get canceled and repitched and
no, I don't think so.
I'd rather have them all come out and finish what they're doing, and then let's just get the ball rolling with James Gunn more, because James Gunn knows probably the best way of doing more like a comic book styled movie the best, and just work with the quirkiness and the stupidity other than trying to make everything have to be. No, a lot of comic books do super deep stories, serious stuff. But like, let's remember it's a comic book movie.
Yeah,
it's not supposed to be taken 100% serious.
Right, exactly.
Like these Zack Snyder universe is doing. And Zack Snyder took it to the next level for no reason.
Yeah.
No, we cannot go one podcast without this.
I know it sucks. We keep talking about it.
It's because he's so involved, and we revolve around Batman and Superman, and he's part of that now. So
yeah. The new Justice League was okay. That was decent. It was.
I didn't need 4 fucking hours. I didn't need that.
It was better than what we got prior to that movie. I would say that. It wasn't like my favorite film. I enjoyed it, but it was way too long. It
just needed
parts that shine. It had parts that shine.
I'm not even going to talk about this movie. We talked about it already. I'm not a big fan of it. I rather would lie with the one that came out in theaters and not care about this 4-hour piece of fire. I get it. I get it. They drop some major points in it. They clear some things up. But I just you know what? It's been so long. I never cared. The franchise was going downhill anyway.
It's not like I could disagree with you there.
Like I was discussing with my uncle earlier today. I'm like, the stuff that happened. The Zack Snyder was on that plane that was like sort of like it's like crappy and it's like trying to stay afloat. and finally it's that he had to drop off due to his reasons. The other director just said, "Okay, I'm just gonna land it. We're just gonna go down. Okay,
yeah, let's just crash right here instead of prolong the crash." Yeah.
I think that's the one good thing that director did was stop the franchise.
Oh my god!
Other than give us the first Avengers movie, but other than that, but with this DC stuff, I think he did a good job doing that.
So, do you guys have any like final thoughts or anything you want to say about the Suicide Squad?
Even though you disagree with me, Josh, I'm a fan of the mysticism, so I love the Enchantress and everything. Give me that as a plot in this.
No, that's fine. I think that character could work. It's just like the setup was so a bit.
It would need a much better setup. I do agree.
Yeah. I think halfway through the movie, if she backstabbed the team, I think that would have worked a lot better.
Yeah, if she did.
Amanda Waller being incompetent and stupid.
She did at least help. At least helped certain parts of the movie progress, but she didn't really do nothing other than stay in and just betray in 5 seconds, like Josh said.
My final thoughts about it: don't let the box office what they've made as a profit fool you. And to me, this was a very good DC movie compared to some of the others I've seen. Because the only other DC film I really liked, Crispy Don't Hate Me, is Shazam.
No, I agree.
And
I know I'm outvoted here, so it's fine.
Matt, your opinion doesn't matter.
I know. I'm gonna stay quiet in my middle slot here.
2 hours was a bit much for everything that they were trying to do, but even still, start to finish, everything was perfect. We got to see Polka Dot Man on film. I was not expecting Polka Dot Man whatsoever. I really enjoyed that. Even seeing Idris Elba and John Cena have an on-screen rivalry, I thought that was funny. And it even some of the quirkier bits from Guardians translating over that I felt very well to Suicide Squad. I think I would rewatch the movie again, honestly. Minus A team. We could just go with B team.
Right.
I would if I had to rate it, I would give it a solid 8. I would recommend this to somebody who's never seen a DC film, wants a good kind of basic intro to superhero films that's not overwhelming, and you can get a good couple of laughs out of. Crispy Shazam was a good movie.
I agree.
Like I said, I'm not bored here, so I'm not going to try.
We'll have to do that sometime. But go ahead.
Did once. Okay. We're doing it, but what's it called? With me, I enjoy this movie a lot. I wasn't. Like I said, there is bumpy in here and there, but it's a good refresh pace and DC's been doing. And everything they've been doing, they're trying to be like that little open clarity, it's nice and funny and adorable, and just about still depressing because of whatever they just still throw on it with the color coding. It just doesn't scream. I get it, DC's dark and gloomy at some points, but there's some color pop in a lot of their comics. And
I wouldn't say DC's gloomy at all. It's just how they set up the universe, and
I know, but they looked at Warner Bros. Literally stated that they're gloomy.
Warner Brothers doesn't know how to make smart decisions.
No, neither does Disney.
No, they don't. So I'm gonna say, I really didn't like this. If they ever do continue with James Gunn to make a second additional movie to this, the Suicide Squad, it feels like they're getting kind of axing a little bit off the first movie in a way. It feels like it's kind of pushing it to the side. It's still there, but it's just pushed to the side, and there's a little box that they want to have there.
Mm-hmm.
It's still it's still the building blocks, but this movie is just gave you a structure to what it wanted you. And if they do continue onward, I kind of want to see more. If they keep some of the original characters from this one now, and the next movie, I want to see like if like they have any more progression. Maybe King Shark maybe gets smarter in a way and like progresses onwards and develops a better character, like another set of character that we can enjoy now, instead of just being just that like on friend, and
Nom nom.
nom,
Yeah.
no, nom, nom. I'm gonna give it to freaking Sylvester Stallone for even doing this movie. I would never. The thing is, like, I would never expect him to be in this movie at all. But
I think it's the connection. I think it's the connection because Guardians 2, he was in that. So James.
It wasn't. Well, I think James Gunn James Gunn kind of like set him up to be in another movie that was in the Marvel franchise.
Yeah.
It was the Ravagers, but that never got off the ground. So I think he said, all right, because I owe you a movie, you want to play a character? It'd be easy peasy. You'll be in it. People will enjoy you. And he just
I would totally watch the Ravengers. I would be more interested in the Ravengers than seeing freaking Spider-Man.
I feel like if they
12 or whatever they're on now.
If they did the Ravengers, I feel like that'd be the darker Guardians movie.
So.
I would have been with all the cast members they had, but they just I don't know why Marvel didn't let it launch off. Well, I think it's because of that incident anyway too with the James Gunn crap, but I think that plays a role. But what is it? Phantom Stranger?
T. Hawkins.
Doctor, I can't see. Oh, Doctor Strange. Oh,
yeah. So for those of you who can't read, T. Hawkins said Snyder should have just done a Justice League Dark opportunity with Constantine, Phantom Stranger, Spectre, Dr. Fate, and Zatanna. That would have, that would have worked. Totally
I'm a huge Constantine fan, so
Same.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, no, I think that would be cool, especially how he wants to do a darker version.
I'm calling lost on Zatanna. Who is Zatanna?
She's the magic wielding
of one of the magicians from DC. I can't think of his name.
I think it's Zatanna or something. It's something like very close to Zatanna. I know in the animated series, Batman the animated series, her father taught Bruce Wayne how to escape from certain scenarios. He's basically like the Houdini of the DC universe, and then Zatanna like picked up the mantle, and she has magic. She's the magical.
And in Young Justice, she also became Dr. Fate temporarily, if I remember correctly.
I didn't watch. I haven't really watched it. I've seen like 2 episodes. That's pretty cool. Though.
But for my rating,
thank you, T. Hawkins.
Thank you, T. Hawkins. But for my rating, I'm gonna go with Jerry. I'm gonna give it like a nice 8. I'm not gonna lie, it's a good movie. If you do like Jerry said, he'd like introduce somebody to DC, this is like probably the easiest going one. Just mention there's a floppy. And just let it go, so you don't get big.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It's a good introduction film. I would say I wouldn't use it as the first introduction if like people are kind of against gore and swearing. Like I would probably start people out with Shazam, a little more lighthearted film, and then like if they're into that,
got it.
Go into the Suicide Squad. But the Suicide Squad was a lot of fun. It wasn't. I thought it wasn't as funny as I thought it would be, but that wasn't such a bad thing either. Kind of like it still fit the tone of what Zack Snyder started. It still like felt like it could have been in the same universe. But yeah, I gotta agree with both of you. I would give it an 8 as well. At first, I was like kind of riding a 7, but the more I kind of watched it, the more I enjoyed it. And the payoff with the Starro was super enjoyable. I want DC to go more towards that direction, like go batshit crazy. Like I think Starro's step in the right direction. Like I want to see more of that. I want to see the more weirdness of the DC universe. Like I want to see Mr. Misfitlick. I want to see Batmite. I want to see all this crazy stuff. And I feel like Starro was a good step towards that. And I really want that. And I want to see Crypto. I want to see all this like fun stuff. I don't want to be depressed after I see a Superman film. I want to feel uplifted. I don't want to kill myself after a Superman film. And it's kind of ironic that a movie called The Suicide Squad is more uplifting than a Superman film. You know, like I felt like they were more heroic. Anyway, yeah, that's it.
Polka Dot Man did.
I think this is the first time we've had a unanimous agreement across the board.
Yeah,
that's facts.
Well, like we disagreed on the first one, but yeah, with the score, yeah, I guess that was the first 8 all around. We should, I don't know, what we should drink every time we get the same score. Take a shot.
We mentioned Warner Brothers or Snyder.
Warner Brothers, seriously, rebrand yourselves, because this is also a funny tidbit. There's a YouTube channel called Meat Canyon who does parodies of things. And I'm going to send you guys the video that he did. I'm not going to talk about it, but he made a video and Warner Brothers hit him with a copyright claim, which is a big deal for Looney Tunes. And it's going to change how you see one of the characters.
Okay.
All right, maybe we'll put the link in the description, I guess.
No. We're not going to put that link in the description.
We're discussing next time.
Okay.
That looks like.
I guess we're not. Oh, Matt, all right. Take it away.
I think, okay, but I want to still add this to it. Warner Brothers, just read the DC comics. Just don't look at a cover and say, let's do it.
Do not fuck up The Blackest Night or Brightest Day, or I will mail you a bag of gummy dicks.
But this is a step in the right direction. I want DC to continue this
because
path.
James Gunn does his research and flips through every single comic book that he has to touch. That's the fun thing about him.
I agree completely.
He does his research and keeps things going. Everyone else just feels like it's just like we skimmed it. We looked at Wiki. We're going. But Jerry, just get that gummy dicks ready because I think you should just send them now. But we're going to the next topic. It's going to be the Scooby-Doo meets Batman. It looks like it's the second episode they meet. And Jerry's going to take this one away because of issues.
All right. So in this episode, this is from the series Scooby-Doo New Movies, where they basically, each episode is basically a collaboration with anybody and everybody at this point. And this particular one is the second episode where they team up with Batman and Robin. And so in the episode, you know, Scooby and the gang, they're in the middle of bumfucking nowhere, minding their business, when they see this random plane just start swooping down, woo, and just land. And you see two goons hop out on a Range Rover. And they're like, well, where the fuck are these guys going? So they follow them to a house with a little old lady. And so they're like, there were just two dudes here. So, you know, they're examining the house, trying to figure out what's going on. And as they're examining the furniture and stuff, it's like, everything's nailed down. What's going on? And then Batman and Robin show up and they're like, we're here looking for two criminals. And they're like, well, hey, we just saw two suspicious looking guys. So they're like, okay, let's team up. And so further on down, they find punching like a rock'em sock'em like punching clown. And so Scooby knocks the head off of it and it's full of counterfeit money. And so they attribute it to being like, oh, it must be the Joker and Penguin again. So it's like, okay, time to go fight Joker and Penguin for the second time now. And so they, they're searching for Joker and Penguin. They end up trailing them to the Batman and Robin Museum after the Batmobile is stolen. And so when they get there, Batman and Robin tell them, you know, you kids wait here. The Joker and Penguin are dangerous individuals, which they are. Because they're just goofy and wacky in here. And so Joker and Penguin lure Batman and Robin into a trap hole door situation where they're just in this pit full of the punching clowns. And so Scooby and the gang go in. They're trying to find Batman, Robin, figure out what's going on. And then Joker and Penguin are just fucking with them. And so after, Joker and Penguin have their fun, they get scared by Scooby because they're in skeleton costumes. He's like, bones. And he's just chasing them and barking at them aggressively. And so they're just like, fucking book it. And then they fall down to where Batman and Robin are. And so they question them and they're like, where are you guys getting the counterfeit money? Where are you making it? And they're like, what are you talking about? We don't know anything about making counterfeit money. Somebody sent it to us, which is probably maybe 1 in half a dozen times that they're innocent of anything. And so they're like, well, they're obviously telling the truth. They don't have a reason to lie to us. We could break their necks if we want. And so they're like, they go back to where the house was and everything has been flipped. Like the house is gone and it's just flat land. And so they hide and Scooby and Shaggy find this tree branch lever and the house flips and they figure out it was the little old grandma making the counterfeit money and sending it to Joker and Penguin to distribute to disrupt the world's economy.
The real goat.
And let's see. I feel like I'm missing something else. Matt, am I missing something else or did I hit most of the points?
I think
you hit most of the points. Anything else, we can bring it up later.
Yeah.
But no, you hit everything right there. So how did you guys enjoy this episode? Well, short movie-ish thing.
This was one of my favorite Scooby-Doo series as a child, so I really loved this. I thought you were gonna pick the Harlem Globetrotters episode.
I know, I that's one of my favorites too. But like I said in like the previous when we were filming this the first time, I wanted to keep us as like a setup as a like we haven't done a full DC thing in a while.
Yeah,
so I was just trying to keep it like DC, just a hit a bit of Scooby because they're connected with the universe of Warner Brothers. But yeah, I was that's one of my I want to watch that one too later down the road.
That's right.
T-Hawk
Scooby loves bat milk and bat cookies.
I like that. Especially like Shaggy thought it was like actual milk from a bat. He's like, bat milk? Ew, that sounds terrible.
He gave Batman the stink eye in his Shaggy form. It's
the only time you see Shaggy almost turn down food and drink.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I wouldn't want milk from a bat either. That sounds pretty gross.
Well, the thing is, like in this episode, Shaggy didn't even really get a snack at all. He got one bite of his cookie. Scooby drank his milk and ate his cookie at the same time, and he just went with like an empty stomach back out into the freaking back into the mystery van. They go find I think they went to it was right when they're going to the museum.
Yeah,
because that's when they're discovering the Batmobile.
I seen the other Scooby-Doo meets Batman a lot more. This one I didn't really remember it until they got into the haunted house. I was like, oh, I remember the haunted house. I remember that part. Basically, the mystery gang and Batman end up at this park in Gotham City. It's like an amusement park, and they have an exhibit that's like set up for Batman. And I kind of like that the Gotham City celebrates Batman instead of like condoning him and like is like really against him, like in most recent incarnations of Batman. So it was kind of neat. Like they're like celebrating Gotham's hero, the Batman. And I don't know, like it was this episode. I wish it focused a little bit more on the Joker and the Penguin. Like they were just kind of like a side plot. They were like the reverse revert your expectations. You know, like they were like in it a decent amount, but it wasn't like they were the main protagonists, which I enjoyed the other one more so because they were throughout the whole episode. Like it was about Batman.
Give us a little
Joker
snippet of
Penguin.
what the first episode was.
Yeah. Well, the first episode, I don't know which one came out first because from last time we tried to record this, I got confused and I watched the other episode. So I was watching that, and that one is basically Batman and the Mystery Gang. They run into Joker and the Penguin, and they're trying to steal a flying suit from a professor. And it's like throughout the whole short that the Joker and Penguin are prominent. There's no like reverting into an old lady witch or anything like that. It's just
she's not a witch.
Batman.
She's a gangster.
Yeah,
gangster
Batman and his rogues gallery. I think if you're going to introduce Batman into a universe like that, it should be the rogues gallery because his rogues gallery are scary and creepy in their own right, so they totally fit in a Scooby-Doo universe. But the granny wasn't really doing it for me.
I think this episode you're talking about probably was the first introduction because Fred mentions Fred and Velma like, hey, it was Batman and Robin again. Like, I'm like, okay, this is not the first one.
Yeah, you were like,
I thought it was the first one.
This was the confusion.
I remember this one
Matt recommended Scooby-Doo meets Batman and Robin or whatever. Oh, it's the first episode. So I was like, okay. So I watched the first one, and then it was the wrong one.
Okay, put it down. You don't like that whiskey. You don't
so
like it.
No. Be a more convincing. Oh no.
The thing is, like I remember the second one more than the first one because I saw it more when I was a kid, and they never really showed the first one for some reason for me. Whenever I was watching like Cartoon Network, or Boomerang, I
remember both episodes equally because I would go over my aunt's house. She would take us to school, and she would always put on Boomerang for us because she's really big into the nerd stuff like Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Stargate 1, Stargate Atlantis, best Stargate in my personal opinion. And she's the one who got me and my brother into, essentially like all the superhero stuff. So I remember like, all right, watching the fly suit Batman with my aunt, and then me and my brother watching Haunted House, counterfeit Batman at just our house. So it was just like, man, this was a fun trip down memory lane.
Yeah, that must have been pretty cool. Yeah, I do remember the Harlem Globetrotters one when I was a kid too. Like that was a big one. But I don't know. I don't really have too much to say about this episode. Like I enjoyed it. It was a fun ride, but like I definitely thoroughly enjoyed the other one a lot more because it was like more.
The other one was more fun.
Yeah, with the rogues for sure.
Because wasn't the professor like real giddy and just real nervous and stuttering a lot?
Yeah, and he says like things backwards.
Yeah.
Maybe on that episode, we'll watch that one too.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that another time. But I wanted to say T. Hawkins said, I have read somewhere that Wendy, Marvin, and Wonder Dog were created for the Super Friends cartoon after the writers couldn't work out using the Scooby Gang. That makes a lot of sense. And was it the same animation studio? Because the animation looks a lot similar, like compared to Super Friends and Scooby-Doo. And I gotta say, with this cartoon obviously came out after the '66 Batman, which we're going to talk about pretty soon. And you could tell that the visual style is like super reminiscent of it. Even the costumes, like the way Robin talks, like holy smokes or whatever he says.
Holy halibut, Batman.
Yeah. And even the transitions with the bat signal, like that's totally 66 Batman. The design of the Batmobile, it's still convertible. Their outfits look like reminiscent of the old Adam West TV show. And even the Batcave. And I was surprised we even got to the Batcave in this. It was like cool to see. It was just only for like a small snippet just to locate where the Batmobile is. And why does Batman leave his keys in the Batmobile? Why does he do that?
Who said it was his keys? He could have a button.
How they stuck? Why would he? There should be a key for the button then. Why would he
I agree.
allow anyone to operate it?
What about
he's trying to dissuade future villains. You steal my car, I break your fucking knees.
Yeah, I'll track you with my tracker device. So maybe that's like what he's going for. He wants the villains to steal his car so he could find them with the tracking device.
I didn't waste my money on this tracking device for nothing. Steal my car, you bastard.
Yeah, steal my car. Which he does in the 66 movie. Yeah, I don't know. That's I don't know. Do you guys have anything else? That's really all I have to say.
This was a really fun rewatch. I said this last time, but it got cut. It was because like I said, this was one of my favorite like Scooby-Doo spin-offs because they just got to meet and interact with so many different people. It was like you're watching something new every time and you can't help but fall more in love with it. Like, even though this was the second Batman and Robin episode, it was so different from the first. You're like, oh, it's just going to be Joker and Penguin being Joker and Penguin again. Nope. For once, they were the pawns in someone else's scheme.
True. They were innocent bystanders in this one, just accepting fate and just getting rid of it.
Yeah.
They're involved a little, but not all the way.
They're not 100% guilty.
No. But I love the part when they're getting walked out by the Gotham like detectives, and they're walking out the detectives instead of the detectives walking them out, and like Batman's like, isn't it the other way around? Like, oh yeah, and they flip roles and
it's like they were getting ready to head to a bar.
True. That'd be interesting going to the bar with the Joker and Penguin. But I know like what Jerry's saying with this little series they had with like everybody meeting each other. With this like 70s meetup of like all these other groups, it felt more fluent and easygoing and like nicer of how it went. It wasn't like felt like it was like meant like it didn't feel like it was like 100% meant to happen. And just like what a coincidence is happening. And all this other stuff, like in the newer stuff, is like
there's so much build.
Maybe what's his name knows what's going on.
Right.
We gotta have him, or he's just showing like it just like kind of feels like they force it into like these characters in with the Scooby-Doo gang or Scooby-Doo with these other characters. Like we were talking about the Globetrotters. Like who would think Trotters would I suck now. At this would be like a mystery solving gang like them in a way, or be interested in doing this, and then it just had that little keen like, oh, we enjoyed solving mysteries too. Can we join you? Like in that like later on, another move like slightly other characters like down the road, and just like it just felt fluent and just adding into it. But I don't know. It's just like I enjoy like the animation, like how they brought Batman, Robin to life, and connecting him to that movie in a way, or that season, or the series they had for that movie. And it just like it felt good just watching it because I haven't seen it in like forever. Do you guys like Josh? You got any more things, or we want to rate it?
I just want to say I just like how lighthearted, like Matt was saying, it all is. Batman's like more endearing. He's not like scary. When the Scooby-Doo gang first, meets up with Batman in this episode, they're like happy to see him. It's not like, oh my God, he's the most terrifying creature. It's just like,
what did we do?
It's Batman. He's like a fun character to be around instead of a dark brooding thing. And that's what I enjoy about Batman. Like each generation, each, era of Batman is like a different feel. Like you could kind of, if you want a fun Batman, you could go to 60s or 70s. If you want a darker, brooding Batman, you could go to,
the 90s.
Every other
90s,
decade.
Yeah. Even
like,
the first years.
Even the 30s, and then like I think the 40s and 50s is when it got more lighthearted, but it started out really dark.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna keep going. Like it just kept getting darker and darker. Then the 60s lightened.
It was Batman has a weird transition. Like he kind of like switched his character a little bit. But the only thing I want to say about the animation that I don't really like, and this is very minor, is the design of Batman's neck thing. Like. His cowl isn't a whole cowl. It's like you could see the piece of his skin on his neck, and I'm like, why is that there? Like, wouldn't it be easier just to color it blue? But that's super minor. It doesn't even matter. Casey Kasem is the voice of Shaggy, and he also voices Robin. And once I was first watching, I'm like, that's the same voice actor. That has to be. And I looked it up on IMDb, and it is. So it just shows how versatile that actor is. Like he could play Shaggy and Robin, and you could tell the same timbre, of the voice, but like it's definitely like you wouldn't go like, oh, that's the same character, But I thought that was an interesting little tidbit. But that's all I have to say. You guys want to rate it?
So what? Yeah, let's rate it now.
10 out of 10. Highly recommend.
He just shot for it. I'm just gonna say, due to all my past history and everything with this, I'm gonna go with at least. I kind of want full just the 10 out of 10. I want to say 9.5, but I'm like, that's just lowballing it for some reason. Like, my little kid me will punch me.
I'll probably go with a 7. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't my favorite. I'm closer to an 8 than a 6 between the ratings. Maybe if I watch it again, I'll enjoy it more. But I like the other one a lot more. So I'll give it
Wow. Well, at least we had a good streak going.
What do you mean? It's still a good streak. It's above a 7 this time.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's not freaking Kiss riding lasers or fucking puppet mutilation or whatever the fuck. So that's a big step up. I don't even know what I rated that puppet movie.
Do you want to take us? What puppet movie?
The puppet.
What? Your screen just usually went dark behind you.
Well, someone's here. They're turning off lights.
Oh, nice.
So I guess I'll. Are you guys?
You're next.
Good?
You're Batman, boy.
All right. So we're going into Batman the movie 1966, starring Adam West and Burt Ward and Lee Merriweather and many ensemble casts as well, such as Burgess Meredith, who you might know as, obviously the Penguin, but as Mickey from the Rocky series, Cesar Romero as the Joker, Frank Gorshin as the Riddler. This was filmed right after the first season of the 66 Batman. And originally they wanted this film to be the debut of the Batman, but ABC needed a series to kind of boost their numbers. So they're like, all right, just make the show now. So they made the show, and they saved the network of ABC before they're bought out by Disney. And this film, it's basically the Riddler, Penguin, the Joker, and Catwoman all team up to take out the it's like the equivalent of the UN in the Gotham City, if the UN was in Gotham City.
It's the security office or something.
Yeah. Basically they want to take they have a submarine. They're you know, they're using
Catwoman.
I agree. I
Maybe
think she's great. Lee Merriweather is like the hottest Catwoman. I gotta say, she's the most good-looking Catwoman. Very foxy.
Damn straight.
But yeah, they're basically trying to take over the UN and dehydrate all their bodies, and they're trying to, you know, have a setup ploy against the Batman. They're just trying to mess with him basically the whole time. Lee Merriweather as Miss Kitka, she tries to fool and seduce Bruce Wayne, which she doesn't really realize that he's Batman. It's just a happy coincidence that it happens to be Batman. This film has a lot of fun bits. The actors, obviously, Adam West and Burt Ward are fantastic. They really hit the acting notes that they need to in the series. Like, they could go fully like into the camp, or they could go fully serious, and they ride that line so perfectly that it completely fits the tone of this film, and the whole series in general. Like, if they played it like too straight, it would have been like kind of one note, and if they played it too comedic, you wouldn't take the story seriously at all. So it's like the perfect fit for any introduction of Batman for a little kid. I've seen this a few times. So what do you guys, we'll start with Jerry. How do you feel?
This was my first time seeing Adam West not in a, you know, animated role like in Family Guy and the few episodes he did with Fairly Odd Parents. So as I'm watching this, I'm just cracking up hysterically from, it's not that Adam West is awkward, it's just the little mannerisms he did as Bruce Wayne. I'm just like, this is so ridiculous. And I loved every minute of it. And then even the musical composure, I enjoyed quite a bit more than I thought I would. I'm not a big like movie music person unless it's like a really good soundtrack, but all the sound effects, the well-timed like intro musics to some of the schemes that the villains did, to even some of the sound effects, how they would make their costume changes, they would be in the fights. Just all of this was, I think, the best way to ever do Batman with Adam West. Because as you said, it had a good blend of seriousness and comedy. But to me, even on some of the more serious notes, I was still like having a chuckle or two because it's Adam West. It's hard for me to take him seriously, but this was my first time ever watching it. I will rewatch this again. This was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Why?
Matt, it's your turn, Matt.
Oh, yeah, your turn, Matt.
You guys all just Josh just went to.
Because I'm waiting for you to talk. I just talked, Jerry talk. We're waiting for you.
I know, but I was like, I'm just like assuming like Jerry be like, all right, next. I'll be like, all right, you'll be like, all right, Matt, blah blah. So I'm just like waiting for my cue, but whatever.
All right, man, just go ahead.
Do this.
Just stop talking about it and go.
No, the thing is, with this movie, I love it a lot because I've seen it basically almost every year, like since my dad introduced it to me, probably like back in like early. I think back in like the 2000s, back in like maybe 2002. Like we would watch it, my dad would be like, it was introduced after basically the Tim Burton movies because he's like, that's not the real Batman. This is the real Batman. Mm-hmm. And it was just got me a DVD. He got the DVD, popped it into our DVD player, and I watched it. And freaking, it was just awesome with all like what Jerry was saying. Like everything else was like the scoring and like the actual things that are happening with the movie. Like it just felt like it was like they were just actually bringing the comic book to life and giving it like the nice like feel that would happen. And then the funny stuff that would happen in the midst. Come on, exploding shark repellent. Who needs that stuff? What is this nonsense? And like, and like the additional like little quirks of like the penguin trying to mimic the captain that's at the captain of the submarine that they're holding captive the whole time. Him just like, no, I'm not the penguin. I'm just, I was like, are you sure you're not the penguin? Like, nah. I need your help and all this crap. You're doing this all this nonsense. And it just gives me that good look. And like the funny thing is, like after like we watched the Suicide Squad movie, the Suicide Squad movie, it kind of felt like it was trying to capture almost the same kind of campiness,
with the colors,
but more of an updated edition without the kapow, the pink, the score, like the music like James Gunn does good with his music choices. Like they chose the right music to feel for the movie.
Yeah,
doing like what Josh was saying, like doing the 10 minutes later, or this is early, like 3 hours earlier things. That felt so campy to like how this Batman was kind of like, but like it was like their own take of it. But like it just felt like it was like James Gunn's like, I kind of enjoyed how it was going with these earlier movies like the Batman and some of the older Superman movies that they put out. And Adam West, yeah, he does a great job. I can't not lie. Like Jerry does say like, yeah, he's part of like the Family Guy, and like he was Catman. Oh man. But they made that one such a joke, that character. But like, no, he does a real good job. I mentioned the other time last week when we first filmed this, that I kind of want to like watch the original, like the series, because I want to see a little bit more on how that would flow. Because I believe you talked about, Josh, because you said they didn't have enough time with the show and the episodes they were filming. They were trying to shoot out drop 2 episodes a week.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Everyone was just speed rushing with everything.
Yeah.
They're basically getting their lines just literally the day of, almost like the day beforehand, to go over quickly.
Yeah, they would use
I can't see how that flows.
Yeah, they would use the stunt doubles not really for stunts, just for wide shots like of action, just so they could cover more, scenes in shorter period of time. So like most of the stunts by Robin is performed by Burt Ward, because he only had that domino mask, so it's like hard to kind of hide that. With the wider shots, they got away with using a different actor or stuntman, but like with the close-ups of like the stunts that for Robin, they couldn't really fake that it's not Burt Ward, so they had to put him in these dire constraints. And basically, like, he almost like died many times on set of the filming of the series. And I guess Adam West and Burt Ward were saying that they felt relieved making this movie, because they had a lot more time to kind of like pace it out and do each scene, and it wasn't just like a speedball rush. It was just like, all right, they could breathe a little bit. So it was like a little sense of levity, even though there's a lot more going on in the film than an average episode. It wasn't just like, all this at once. And I guess the Batcopter and the Batboat were made for this movie because they had the budget to do that. And they were like, all right, while we make this Batboat and Batcopter, with the budget of the film, we'll use it with, the budget. We could after that, we could use it throughout the series because we already paid for it, through the movie. But I guess they didn't really use it that much in the series. I don't know how often they used the Batboat or Batcopter, but not too often. It was mostly
Maybe it was too expensive. Maybe it was too expensive actually to do the style of shots or stuff with like refueling the helicopter and like properly getting out there, maybe to certain scenes.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Sure.
The boat. I think the boat would be so much easier. Than the
I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense with like the aerial shots. You still have to rent out a helicopter. Well, like you could say that. Well, yeah, not exactly. I was gonna say you could say that same excuse for the Batmobile, but at least you could be on the road filming at eye level. You can't really be on eye level.
Standard gasoline. Like, what's actually what kind of fuel really does like they use for like helicopters? They use standard gasoline or some kind of mixture stuff that's like
I think it's a
meant to make it
mixture.
run. Because I know a lot of things like the oil mix base with gasoline. Some like just take the straight up diesel shit. Like
it might have been
like,
diesel because a lot of stuff back then was still running diesel.
Yeah, I think it takes liquid Schwartz. I think that's what it runs on.
That's too late, sir. It's later than this movie. But no, it could be right. Not joking.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, this movie is just like so highly enjoyable for me. Like, I like we talked about this last week, so I'm trying to like figure out new things to say than I've been retreading what I said last week.
Yeah, I said I had a lot of like high praise last week.
Yeah,
me and Jerry went in
my head too.
Like me and Jerry had a whole thing we were talking about with the Scooby-Doo thing, and I didn't want to redo it because we added a new segment to the bit, to the setup, and then it kind of like including I didn't want to drag on with stuff that we brought back in from last step.
Right. Well, it probably was a good thing that I watched the wrong thing because I at least had a fresh pair of eyes for that segment.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there's still just like the most enjoyable parts of this film, I think, for me, is the like bat bomb. I think that's my favorite part, like the whole segment. And he's running around and he's like going to blow up the ducks. He's like, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb, you know? And the whole demeanor of Adam West, like Jerry was saying, like he's so slow and meticulous. Like he's like every word he says, it takes like a lot of thought for it to come out. And you like get that sense that, you know, he's thinking all the time. So that's why he's the world's greatest detective, even though he's not really that great of a detective in this because he can't figure out that Miss Kitka is Catwoman. But he's seduced.
The thing is, like, Robin was finding out everything.
Robin kind of called it in the beginning.
Yeah, he was the lead on this movie with the detective shit. Batman just like got a blindfold on for a little bit in this movie for a ride.
I gotta say, Burt Ward, he's like, I don't think he gets as much praise as Adam West does. I think he deserves a lot more praise because like his demeanor and how he like performs like these ridiculous.
Yeah, he matched Adam West's energy almost.
Yeah,
I would say to a T, if not more.
Yeah,
because it seems like he would set up, you know, not even a line but a joke, and then Adam West would be like, "Okay, I see where he's going, so let me try to match what he's saying."
Yeah, and he like has that higher energy too compared to Adam West. Adam West is very slow with his, you know, his speech, and Burt Ward's like, you know, like faster pace. He's more higher energy. He's the youth, you know. He kind of brings it out, and like Batman's the one who has to kind of reel him down a little bit. Which is like, it's a nice dynamic.
Like the kid of the group.
Yeah.
So like, he has to have that energy. He has to have that flow. But whatever Tim was it? Tim Drake, not Tim Drake. Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson
has. There's so many Robins. Dick Grayson.
There's too many Robins.
There's too many Robins. But Dick Grayson has like whatever his like his age in this setup is. He has to match that age, and just keep flowing with it. And then Adam West has to be like, all right, dial it down, Robin. Well, I get what you mean. We gotta do this shit.
Yeah. Bye, Jerry.
I had to grab my laptop charger. It's about to die.
Oh, I thought you said you had to do laundry. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I thought you said you had to do laundry too. No. Well, while Jerry's doing his laundry, I wanted to read this comment by T-Pillow saying that Eartha Kitt is my favorite Catwoman. That Purr is just sensational. I only seen a few episodes with Eartha Kitt as Catwoman, and it was only like once. So, I mean, that's what I enjoy about the series. Like, they weren't afraid to switch the Catwoman actress. Like, it was just like, and everyone accepted it. And even especially for 1966 to make, you know, Eartha Kitt, you know, an African American to be a main character in the series is super progressive for the time. It's like so ahead of its time, and the color palette is sensational, especially with the filming techniques techniques that they use, like all the colors like really pop and it's really rich. And it's not like they put a filter like on After Effects. Like all the camera work and the lighting is done in camera. It's not like you could do that later on, like editing, like you can today digitally. So like all those colors really, really pop, and it looks like the emphasis of a comic book of that day, of that era, and it's just like so stylized. And they weren't afraid to, have these characters be in their comic book costumes. It wasn't like they were ashamed that this is Batman. They went full out, like full force. This is fucking Batman. We're gonna show all these colors. We're gonna do the whams. We're gonna do the pows. We're gonna do all the the comic book style. And like in contrast, like when you flip it to like the 1990s, when even X-Men came out, they're like ashamed that they were X-Men basically because they had them in all leather black costumes. They didn't have Wolverine in his Wolverine outfit. They didn't have Cyclops in the bright blue suit, with all these contrasting colors. So you get to see it in wide shots, like what characters, what based on their color design and color palette. Like once in the 1990s, they had them all in black leather, and you can't really. It's not like easy to differentiate the characters. They're all just wearing the same suit, and that's why I like this show. It's so unapologetic of what it's about. It's not like, oh no, we're trying to be edgy like it was, in the 1990s. Like it was like a funner, more simpler time in American pop culture, and it seemed like it's like the levity that the nation kind of needed at that time, because like we're in like the midst of the Vietnam War, and then like we kind of needed a simpler hero, and then Batman came out, and it seems like it was a lightning in a bottle. It was exactly what America like needed in pop culture at that time. Like I could only think of a few things that was like as big as a Batman, like Batman 66 era, in within American pop culture was like Superman when he first came out. Like that was like the biggest thing. When he had the radio show in the 1940s, Mickey Mouse, Star Wars, and maybe like Lord of the Rings. I can't really think of anything else that like was like came to that caliber of like a pop culture. So it's
the
just
only
like,
other thing I could think of might have been Star Trek.
Right.
But that was much later.
Yeah, when was Star Trek? That was late, like 1960s, right? Or was that 1970s?
I think it might have been 70s because that was with William Shatner.
Yeah,
it was with William Shatner.
But yeah, no, I agree with you.
Fact check me on that.
I'm doing it right now.
Never mind, T. Hawkins. Hold.
Maybe the first Jurassic Park. That's like the few things in pop culture I could that really hit that big.
Okay, fact check came in for Star Trek. Star Trek original series came out in 1966, right around the time this movie dropped.
Oh.
It came out September 8th, 1966.
T. Hawkins brings up a very good point that the Batman comic was on the edge of cancellation when the show started. That is very true. When they stated that in some of the behind the scenes I was looking at on the Blu-ray. I own the Blu-ray, so it was like neat seeing all the behind the scenes. I was watching the commentary with Burt Ward and Adam West, so that was fun. But yeah, I guess this really boosted the sales of Batman comic books. Like that's when this was the era when Batman kind of took over the headlight of DC Comics. Batman became like the DC like favorite hero, and throughout the previous, before that in the previous decades, it was always Superman. Like they even had it in the DC logo that like Superman published comics, and then DC, like it was like Superman was a part of the DC logo basically for like throughout, and maybe until like 1970 or something, and then it just kind of became DC. But T. Hawkins says so basically can't be Batman saved the franchise, and that's 100% true, which is kind of crazy.
If only we could get the same thing for Green Lantern.
Yeah, the Green Lantern media is definitely.
We have
lacking.
not had a good run.
We need Jon Stewart Green Lantern, not the Daily Show Jon Stewart, like the Justice League Unlimited version. That would be the one. That's the one I like the most.
I am a big Jon Stewart fan, but I would also like to see maybe Guy Gardner get a shine at being Green Lantern.
I don't know too much about Guy Gardner. I never really followed Green Lantern too much. I have to read.
I heard
comics.
I heard about him like a little bit, but like, yeah, mostly like stick with like John, like the main guy, lantern from the Justice League.
This is just a quick side bit. I didn't mean to interrupt everybody. The big name Green Lanterns have always been Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner, Jon Stewart, Guy Gardner, and I think his name is Alan Scott.
Alan Scott was the original one. Alan Scott's the first one, the OG Green Lantern, where his weakness was wood, and he's wearing that green cape, and he has like a red outfit. I don't know what happened to him.
He makes
his weakness is wood.
Yeah, but that's really about it. Because Green Lantern, we just had the cartoon. I don't even want to talk about Ryan Reynolds. We disassociated him. He's the ugly duckling.
I think he detached himself with the Deadpool movie, with him making fun of himself and with that little Green Lantern playing card in that guy's wallet. So
T. Hawkins says the Bruce Timm cartoon was pretty cool. The GL cartoon at least the visual style. I didn't even see
cartoon. I know what he's talking about. It was the last of the action cartoons from the mid 2000s. And that's where you really got to see some of the expanded Green Lantern universe with the Red Lanterns, the Star Sapphires, and the Blue Lantern Corps, along with Agent Orange, aka Larfleeze, and some of I call it the great fuck-ups of the Guardians of Oa. Because you even see the Manhunters make a extreme resurgence. They come back with Extreme Prejudice, but I want to save that for in the future when it's one of my picks. I have a couple of episodes I think you guys might like.
Okay.
Is that the 3D one? That's not the 3D.
It's Is it the 3D one?
Like the CGI one?
Yeah. I think so. It's been a long time because it's kind of got like that claymation kind of look, but it's not claymation.
Very blocky, right?
Oh God, I'll post a picture of it on our Instagram page.
Yeah, if you don't follow us on Instagram, be sure to do that at BatYard's Finest Pod POD.
And T. Hawkins, to answer your question, I did a little research on it, so my memory's a little fuzzy. It was, like I said, it was the end of the action cartoon era. So after that, action cartoons, basically just died. But I also believe it wasn't getting very strong views when they were airing it on Cartoon Network because they would either play it so early in the morning everyone was asleep, or they would play it too late in the evening when people were just out doing things in the afternoon. Like
Pixar mixed with the JLU.
Yeah.
I think it's the same series. That I'm thinking of. That makes sense. I never seen any of it. I just seen images. But back to Batman 66. You mentioned the composition and the score. The score for the villains, I think, is very memorable. I've really enjoyed that. Like their motif, very fits
I loved it so much.
Perfect. The thing,
it was almost reminiscent, kind of Pink Panther, because it was like it was kind of upbeat and then also like very sneaky.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely was like their motif is like very memorable in my head, and like completely fits that style for sure. And like you could obviously tell like the motif is, you know, a villain. You know, it's not like the heroic sound, but like the the song that they use for Batman and Robin is so funny. It's like so ridiculous. Like I remember mentioning this last time that like their like theme, like once they're in the helicopter and they're like you know, spectating the city basically, it's like this like such a happy tone that should be like in a kid's like amusement park ride, like while you're waiting in line. It's like the most ridiculous thing. It's like dee 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 dee, and like I want to see a cut of that song like playing in a Batman chase, like in the Batman Begins chase, like instead of like the awe-inspiring Hans Zimmer score, it's freaking dee, 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 dee. It's like
I kind of we
such
talked
a
about
big
this last
contrast.
time.
Yeah,
and I kind of wish I looked up to see if there's a video for that, because we did say we should have looked it up. I kind of
if that video doesn't exist, someone out there please make it. I want to watch that. So add that song in the Batman Begins.
T. Hawkins, have you ever seen that kind of video yet? Please tell us if you have.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, it's the most ridiculous like thing ever, and it still fits, but it's like, I don't know. It's kind of out of place at the same time, because like they're trying to be like heroic, and it's just like this. It sounds like a baby song, you know.
It's a high res lullaby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So do you guys? Wait, go ahead, Matt.
What?
No, go ahead.
How'd you guys enjoy the submarine?
The submarine bit
it's a giant
was
penguin.
Hilarious.
I love how like everybody like it's a giant penguin, but inside's a legit submarine in a sorts of a way of how they imagine it. And then if you like, they ever do the upscope, it's just a little penguin fucking head just chilling there, just like, and they have the talking little penguin that does like the Morse code noises to them. It's like, what the fuck? What is this setup?
Yeah,
and where did they get it? Because they think they stole a submarine, but it looks like they did modifications to the submarine.
The sub, like the miniature, looked like actually pretty good for like at least that time.
I want the toy of it.
Yeah, that would be an awesome toy to have. But I gotta say the set, like when they're on top of the submarine, when they're submerged and they're having this big like brawl between Batman and Robin and like all the rogues and the crew members. Like you could obviously tell they're like in a pool, like on a set somewhere in California. Like they're obviously not in open ocean. And it's like you could see the backdrop, like it's like you could see the sky, like the matte painting. Like it's obviously like it's only like 10 feet behind the surface of the sub, which adds kind of to its charm. You know, like it seems like it's almost. It almost has that homemade feel at the same time.
You never fought somebody on a submarine right at the lining of the sunset, like the sunlight, like the.
Yeah,
that's the same.
That's just the
same skyline
line.
they filmed Hawaii 5-0.
Yeah, I think the first film or television series or anything to film on the open ocean is Jaws, and they had so many technical problems with filming on the open ocean. It's so less control.
Oh yeah,
you can't control the weather. You can't control, boats being in the, in the background. At least at that point in time, they had to like paint over each frame of the boat if they wanted to hide it at that point in time in the 70s. So there's reasons why they didn't do that, especially at that time. It's a lot easier to control, something inside in a pool than in open ocean where anything can happen. You don't even know what the hell's down there. You need your bat shark repellent.
And don't forget the stingray repellent.
Yeah. The porpoise, the freaking seal porpoise or whatever that sacrificed himself for Batman and Robin is so stupid that it's amazing. I love it. Like they're they're on this buoy, they're magnetized to it. Penguin shooting a missile from this sub right towards Batman and Robin, and then like it cuts, and you're like, "What the hell happened?" You just hear an explosion. You're like, "Oh, they died," and that's what the villains believe to be true. And then it cuts to them like on the boat, and then Batman says this like, "It's so noble of that animal to sacrifice itself to save us."
Yeah,
and it's so stupid that it's awesome. I love it. I love that part. It was so dumb, but that's like the charm of it. It's like the perfect dumb, you know.
It's like the little tidbit to like Aquaman. It felt like with that thing. Like it's kind of like the animal guy.
Yeah. Maybe Aquaman.
I think it was accidental swimming.
Maybe Aquaman forced the porpoise to swim in the direction of fire. You know, he
save Batman and Robin.
Yeah, kill yourself and save Batman and Robin. I won't do anything else. I won't fight the submarine. I won't infiltrate it. I'll just send this porpoise to kill itself, so I don't have to do anything.
Be a useful meat shield. That is my command.
Yeah, exactly. So it's canon that Aquaman's in this film.
No, Timmy, we don't know where he was.
It could have been Namor.
But that's Marvel.
Yeah, true.
That's true, but we never know.
Yeah.
You're trying to tell me this is a crossover movie too?
Yeah. It's the first one.
I mean, it's Adam West. Adam West had the power.
Yeah, he could go anywhere. Oh my God. There's something else I wanted to say, but I forgot. Wait, go ahead, Matt.
I was gonna say, you guys got anything else, and we can jump right to the rating of this?
I think that's really all I got. Go ahead, Jerry.
I'm gonna save what I have to say because it'll tie into my rating.
Okay. All right, Jerry, what's your rating?
Before I rate it, like I said last time before it got cut, you know, I feel, you know, watching this movie for the first time and seeing, you know, Adam West act as Adam West, it was a really good way to, you know, remember him for how he, like I'm not going to say like how T. Hawkins said, but how he essentially came in and, like Josh said, gave the world something not necessarily just lighthearted, but something to just ease the hardship of what we were going through at the time. But also within that, he made very, you know, during the show, he made very progressive, you know, moves as far as, you know, having different actors in, switching up, you know, how he might, I mean, I haven't watched the original, so I can't speak too much on it, but maybe how he'd even have certain things go along as far as lines and whatnot. And even just how Adam West himself is such a, you can't watch something that Adam West is in and be upset, if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
No, I totally agree with it.
The Bright Knight. There we go, T. Hawkins. He was the Bright Knight. Adam West was essentially the light that the world needed to kind of keep everything, you know, from just closing in and just driving people to the point of insanity. And I think the same thing also needs to be said for Burt Ward. Dick Grayson from the Tim Burton films, he was all right. I wasn't a big fan of him. But, you know, Burt Ward as Robin, I loved every minute of it. Not even just from his dialogue, but just from how he carried himself as a Robin.
Yeah. His mannerisms are great, like how he moves and everything. And I guess he wasn't an actor prior to the show. Like he was an acrobat, I guess. So that's why they casted him, and it was just lucky that he was a good actor at the same time because it was literally his first role. It's just crazy how it worked out.
Well, I could be wrong, but wasn't Dick Grayson the one that was the acrobat?
Yeah, Dick Grayson was the acrobat.
So that fits the freaking role even more. That's like the scariest thing about it.
Well, I gotta say with Jerry, I agree with the Tim Burton verse. The Robin that they used, Chris O'Donnell, like the actor wasn't bad. He was just like a little too old for the character.
Yeah.
If he was younger, it would have worked. And at that point, it wasn't even Tim Burton anymore. It was Joel Schumacher. So like, I wouldn't even really count that as Burton's verse.
T. Hawkins, I was just about to say that he's more of a Nightwing.
Yeah,
but, if I had to rate the movie, I'm giving it a very strong 9. It's, maybe if I would have grown up watching it in the 60s, I could call it, Adam West is the immortal Batman. There will never be another Batman other than Adam West. But even considering, all of the fun bits that Adam West had in this, all of the very well put, sound effects, music motifs, how the Batcave was labeled perfectly with everything, really even to how the villains did their acting. And it was just as good, if not better, than, Adam West and Burt Ward. Everybody just complimented each other so well. It's not even like you're watching a movie at this point. It's like you're watching a story tell itself to you.
That was actually a good point. That is actually a good point because everyone does flow right together with everybody in this show. It doesn't feel
lightning in a bottle.
They have one freaking season, and one season really doesn't make 100% good. Quality with actors. Like the acters don't have good friendships still, but they still feel like they're units. Including we added a brand new Catwoman to the unit for this movie too, and she flowed well with everybody too. So it didn't. Yeah, it felt actually pretty good, like you were saying. Lightning in the bottle.
So
Josh saying too.
Yeah. Well, so Matt, do you have any? What's your rating? And your
my rating is like a 9.5 because I got to grow up with this majority of my life, so I enjoy I said I was re-upping it almost like majority of my life. Ever since I started saw it, I re-upped it every year. I said I went for almost a binger for I think the first time seeing it. I think we went for a few months watching it every week. I felt like. So it was a big part of my life. So it went it was Tim Burton, and then it was just Adam West. Adam West was a thing. I never knew about any of the television show. But that just stuck me with the movie. So I just watched the movie because finding the older television show DVDs or anything like that stuff. So that was nice. I all the comic, everybody like him. Terry saying everybody felt like they picked out from a comic book, the comic book put into the movie proper, and everyone right now was awesome. And it just didn't have a. Everybody had moment or anything crazy. I do say that Batman did a little, they had the little ending when they sneak out of the room and said they screw up. But what, they still saved the day, but they snuck out there, everybody they weren't going to get away with it. I just want to mention that again, they cracked down the building. It was
that was great.
It was going to sneak out. No one's going to just try to focus on this part. We did our job back. Well, no, they did a great job. Whatever the budget they had TV series, life, and getting it to go further onwards. 2 seasons after the movie dropped. Hey man,
You're echoing.
Try readjusting your headphones, Matt. Your earpiece.
nah, I have a microphone.
Oh, your microphone. I'm the only one that's a barbarian using a headset. I see.
I wouldn't say that. You sound like the
That song from SpongeBob.
what song was that, T-Pillow?
Yeah, what song is that? What Echo song?
But yeah, like it.
Striped sweater.
I don't know, but yeah, it just like everything did flow right. Like a lot of things, like Jerry, like this is one thing I hate following up after Jerry because Jerry says fucking everything that's right for everything. But yeah, I basically agree with Jerry. Everything that Jerry said, and his little setup. So yeah, my
Just say
rating is definitely
ditto.
9.5. But I still want to know the song, T-Pillow.
Yeah, striped sweater. What the?
Bee boo boo.
Oh.
Oh.
That song. Beep boop bop boop bop beep beep boop. Mr. Krabs is a robot.
Beep boo boo bop. Bop, boo boo beep. Bop boo beep.
For a second, I was thinking
let us know if
Squidward gets put in the time machine. That song.
No, not that episode. It's when they think Mr. Krabs is a robot.
Okay.
He's listening to a song on the radio. Jerry knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're talking about too. But in my head, I was thinking this background music when Squidward's in the time machine freezer, and it's like futuristic noise and shit.
I don't even remember it. I remember that episode.
I remember that.
So yeah, T-Pillow, let us know if Matt's audio is any better or not. But while you're answering, I'll just get out. I'll go ahead. I really thoroughly enjoy this film. I watched it since I was a kid, like Matt has. I was introduced to Batman, like the Tim Burton Batman when I was a kid, and I watched Batman Returns. That was like my first introduction to Batman was Batman Returns, and then Batman the Animated Series. I feel like Batman Returns is like a little screwed up to show a 4-year-old, especially like with the Penguin axing off the firstborn children of Gotham City with him bleeding like black sludge out of his mouth. It's really pretty grotesque. Him biting like some guy's nose off. It's like that's not really a oh, it's better. Oh, okay, thank you, T-Paul.
Thank you.
But yeah, that's like not really a good introduction for a 4-year-old. I mean, I fucking loved it, but like, if I was going to introduce a 4-year-old to Batman, I would start out with the Adam West Batman because it's a lot more lighthearted. Like any age you can enjoy it, and it's not so dark and depressing, basically, and grotesque that alienate a child and scare them. This is it's like the quintessential Batman of that era. And it's like, this is, if you want lighthearted, fun Batman, this is the Batman to watch. And there's so many like little tidbits I just want to mention before we close the episode. Like originally, everyone wanted to be in this film, so that's why they added the cameos. I mean, not the film, the show. Everyone wanted to be in the show. That's why they added the cameos with like actors and celebrities looking out the window, talking to Batman and Robin, asking questions. Like that's like how they added more cameos and more actors, was just little cameos. Frank Sinatra wanted to be the Joker in this series, but they already had Cesar Romero, so that's like pretty crazy to think about if Frank Sinatra was the Joker. I wish Frank Sinatra was at least some villain, like if
that would have been great.
Yeah, if he showed some interest in being the Joker, at least give him something like a musical. If he was like a singing villain, that would be awesome. That would have been so good. I don't understand why they didn't do that, but yeah, this series is just so much fun. It's so lighthearted. The only thing I have against this film, it's just a little too long. There's like a few scenes I feel like that could have been cut. Like it's a little bloated. Like it kind of gets lost. on what the main plot of the film is. Like halfway, kind of like changes into a different movie, a little bit plot wise.
Yeah.
The villains finally figure out what they have to do.
Yeah, I forget what the time, like the length of it. I feel like at least like 20 minutes could have been like cut out of the film, and like you still would have got the same experience.
Hour and 45 minutes, I want to say.
Yeah, I think if it was like an hour and a
like
half,
that.
if it was like an hour and a half or something, like I think that would have been like the perfect runtime for this film. All in all, I give this film an 8 out of 10. It's thoroughly enjoyable, and I think it's a welcoming exhibit for Batman for any age. Like you could watch this you could show this to any person at any age, and I think they will enjoy it.
I agree with that completely.
So Matt, take it away.
All right, Matt. Remember, we're gonna go from you to me to Josh. So we're gonna just go into the right.
Oh wait! Before we do that, I did the recommendation. I did not the recommendations. The choices of the next episode's topic is, I already announced it to you guys, so you already know. But I'm announcing it to the audience at home. We are doing a few things since these episodes are very short. We're doing Gumby the Zoops, which is like from the 60s, and Gumby Rain for Rue. These are all shorts. They're only like 5 minutes long. Also, the Will Vinton Closed Mondays, and the main event of the next episode is The Adventures of Mark Twain, which is directed and written by Will Vinton, and it's fucking crazy. I don't know how much you guys seen yet, if you've seen any of it.
I've seen the 2 Gumbies right now. I watched the 2 Gumbies.
Okay, I'm glad you did that, because I'm glad you didn't watch the movie, because definitely wait till, when we record, because, I'm glad you
watched the 2 Gumbies. I haven't watched the other short yet, and the movie hasn't happened.
Okay. Yeah. So just basically watch in order that I sent it to you, because it derails and fucking batshit insanity as it kind of goes along.
I assume it does, by the look of the cover for the freaking for the Mark Twain claymation movie. It just looks like, what the fuck's gonna happen?
Yeah, it's insane. So that's the recommendation. So that's next week's recommendation. So Matt, it's your show. You take it away.
Well, you know how much I fuck up doing the intro. You're gonna do this one
No.
because I was supposed to have another 4.
No, you got to do it.
No, you got to
have
do
2
it.
chances.
Do
This
it.
is your second. This is your second chance.
We
Yeah,
believe in
yeah.
you.
This is
Look,
you.
the light of Oa believes in you, Matt.
Yeah, this is you.
Stimming on my side. I'm getting into a tunnel. It's getting smaller and smaller while I'm going.
It is bright.
Okay.
Just point to whoever's going to do it next to make it easy.
Do it next. So it is.
Yeah.
So
So it'll just point and we'll go from there.
Am I doing it? Like you're already doing it?
Please just do it for me.
Oh,
Please.
God.
You had 2 opportunities to fucking figure this out, and you still haven't done it. Like, what the fuck? I'll text you the outro next time. Okay, I'll give you both next time. But okay, this was Josh from.
Oh my God!
I broke the thing.
Now you make me look like a dipshit. So I usually do half of it. I don't have to do my thing.
Okay.
Everyone's been doing their own script of it, so I feel like I'm gonna fuck up doing my own skit of it. Let's just go.
Okay.
This was Josh from BatYard Production sending you off up in a way until next BatYard's finest episode.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Jerry, and we're becoming super pals, 1 episode at a time.
See
you guys later.
That's all you say is I'm Matt? Like, what happened to Superman's City?
Goodbye, Josh. What happened?
Oh, you guys flickered off. Oh, Jerry's gone.
I'm here on my side.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
you
all right.
dipped out.
Well, it's the end of the episode. Bye.